Local salon experience. Sorry for the length / if this doesn't seem like a big deal. Just need to vent because although this ordeal was only earlier today, it's still weighing on me, and the more I ruminate about it, the angrier I get. 2 weeks ago I called a local salon to schedule a haircut. So today is that day. I go up to the counter and am not even greeted. Eventually the woman, who is also the owner and is not wearing a mask, of all the people I saw in that building, not one was wearing a mask, greets me. I let her know I'm here for my appointment scheduled at X time. She says nothing but proceeds to putz around on her phone for what seemed like 45 seconds, not a long time, but when you're standing there in silence it is. Then eventually says, "When did I talk to you?" Meaning, when did we schedule an appointment? BC she didn't see anything in her schedule, but also with a serious "you are bothering me" undertone. So I show her my call log and the day we talked, and she tells me she'll have to finish up with another client before she can get to me. I work in customer service and totally get that, so I sit. While I'm sitting there, I can hear her and her current client bashing other women they've come across for their speepty hair and speepty nail beds. It was truly like a scene from Mean Girls and made me dread going in there next, since I haven't gotten a cut in 9 months and my ends are fried. But alas, eventually it's my turn and I sit in the chair. She quickly / roughly finger combed my hair and dry cut it. And that was it. Never asking if I wanted a wash or style or anything that would have taken her more than 5 minutes. She trimmed an inch off when I wanted to cut off maybe 4 or 5 inches, but she never asked, and then I became too embarrassed and anxious to say anything at all. The entire cut lasted less than 10 minutes and it truly felt like she couldn't get rid of me fast enough. I'm just really irritated and trying to figure out WTF I just paid 50 for. TLDR, local salon owner forgot my appointment, then made me feel like I was nothing but a burden to her. Barely gave me a cut and couldn't rush me out the door fast enough. Leave an accurate review of your visit on all the sites and find a new salon. That experience sounds awful and they deserve to lose business if they think that is appropriate customer service. I hope you're able to find a more relaxing and attentive salon for your next cut. Yes, this was bad customer service. I think everyone has encountered the hairstylist that seems to look down on all the customers. Please don't allow yourself to be treated this way in the future. Just leave when you're ignored or hear staff talking badly about customers. I guarantee you will feel better if you just leave. You will feel empowered. Jesus, that's horrible. It's as though she did you a favor. I worked reception at a salon in college. It was not like that there. The stylists were super talented and worked their butts off. So did I. They ranged in age from the owner who started doing hair in the 80s. She is very good at punk hair, but also did our current state senator's hair, to fresh out of school she did awesome blue extensions on me. You can find better. Write an honest review to help others avoid this embarrassment and keep looking. When you find a good one, follow them anywhere. You deserve to feel pampered even for just a quick haircut. Sorry that woman was so bad at her job. I work as a receptionist at a salon, and let me just say, stylists are some of the most catty and immature women I have ever met. Every single one of them sits in the back and talks speep about their clients. They literally act like high schoolers. I've had a lot of jobs, but I have literally never worked in a more gossipy workplace than a salon. Came here to say this. I also work reception and I'm a stylist. It's so sad people go to a salon to have their confidence boosted, but I've had so many people say that they've gone and just felt judged the entire time. I would have turned on my heel as soon as I saw no one with masks on. Are they completely ignorant? Or do they just want to get shut down again? I would call them into the health department, or whoever oversees that stuff in your area. There is a reason that a lot of the licensing is based on hygiene. They should know better. And then she treated you like that. Health department, then Yelp. Light her up. And look around at the chain places by you. A lot of them are franchisees, so locally owned by have to follow corporate protocols. My only pandemic cut was at Hair Cuttery, soon after they reopened. And when I walked in there were only 3 stylists working. The lovely stylist who cut my hair was basically like, I'd wear anything I had to get back to work. Now I really want a haircut. 6 months is too long. There were umpteen red flags and I just compartmentalized them till I left and went over everything in my head. Thank you for the info about the health department stuff. I'll definitely look into it. What horrible customer service. The only upside is maybe she didn't think your ends were too horrible if she only took off an inch. Also, like everyone else said, nega Yelp her into the ground. When I wanted to cut off maybe 4 or 5 inches, but she never asked, and then I became too embarrassed and anxious to say anything at all. Not to get too victim blame, why, but seriously, a hair salon is the last place you want to be silent and not dictate your needs. This is how salon horror stories are born. You're lucky you got away with just a trim. I'd count my blessings. Owner or not, this woman treated you wrong and you should yelp the hell out of her. Yes, at this point, it's passive/aggressive, but since she's the owner, there's really no other recourse. 5 inches is 12.7 centimeters. I'm sorry you had that experience. I also worked in customer service and try to give other customer service workers the benefit of the doubt, especially if they've had a bad day. I also get easily taken aback by complete rudeness and sometimes don't know how to respond in the moment. You go out expecting others to have common decency, right? I agree with everyone else. Write a scathing review. Take that salon off the list. Had a similar experience a few years ago, and a cut in the city ends up being like 60 or more. Me, now, would have walked out before the cut. My time deserves better. 50. I get my hair cut at either Great Clips or Supercuts for under 20. Yeah, it was 35 plus the tip I gave equaled 50. Don't know why I gave a tip at all tbh, but it's especially confusing. BC on their site they list that women's cuts are 30, yet I was charged 35. I'm on the UK and my mother is a mobile hairdresser and she charges less than what you paid in a tip for a standard haircut like that, and she travels to visit people in their homes. She certainly didn't deserve a tip, but I understand in the US there is a lot of pressure to give tips as standard, so must be difficult to not tip for bad service when you don't want a confrontation. I'm so sorry you experienced this. I would definitely leave a short, sweet, and accurate review. I definitely understand the embarrassment and anxiety. Up until recently, I was only getting haircuts once a year-ish because I couldn't find someone I liked and trusted enough. Hopefully you find someone and hopefully they're amazing. Same. It's so hard to find someone I trust, so I just avoid making any appointments at all. The salon I did like in town closed permanently due to COVID, so I had to look elsewhere, and evidently it's not going well. I drive an hour to get my hair done. I have some serious trust issues tbh. I've been a stylist as well as a customer service coordinator at a salon. You would have been justified in leaving as soon as the owner was rude to you. That's terrible business. My training has always been to greet everyone who walks in your door within 10 seconds. And treat them the same as the clients you've had 20 years who have spent thousands of dollars in your business. I don't know where you live, but in all likelihood the salon is in violation of pandemic protocols and could be shut down. From a customer perspective, the whole salon seems petty and childish. Please leave an honest review and don't go back. You deserve better. I've had better service at chain haircut places for under 15, including a tip. You paid 50 and had to schedule an appointment weeks in advance. You should have been able to request whatever you wanted. Don't go back there. I had similar experience. I never went back. They don't deserve my money. I'd try and cut my own hair now. Haha, luckily I like it short with no style. I'm the same way. Too many bad salon experiences led me to learn how to cut my own hair. My poor husband can't wait to get the vaccine so he can get a decent haircut. He's over 65, but our state says you have to be 70 to get the shot. I may have to get the scissors out myself, which will be a disaster. I've been cutting my husband's hair since March. Watch some YouTube videos and pay more money for great scissors. The steepest learning curve was using the clippers. I've been cutting my hair since March. It's shoulder length. I've saved about $300 to $500. It's a bit uneven. The world continues to spin. I'm sorry this happened to you. I was insulted by an expensive hairdresser 20 years ago, and it is something I've not forgotten. After that, it was supercuts for me. I think you did not react because you are a genuinely nice person and you could not believe someone was actually being that rude. Yeah, why TF did you pay 50 for that experience? I understand not wanting to be rude, but that salon owner sounds like she deserved to receive back what she gave you: rudeness and lack of service. No service, no pay. Your username gives me hope for the future. However, in this case the Christian thing to do is to let other people not be ripped off. You need to expose her to your public for her ill treatment of customers.